What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 18, and we start today's episode off with Mark Beavers, our centre-back, coming to us and saying, may we discuss wages? I work hard in training, and, I'm always on the team sheet and stuff, so can you give us a new contract? And I did go into the contracts, but Beavers still has a year and a couple of months left on his contract, or maybe it's 2 years and a couple of months, actually. And to be honest, if you've been following me for long enough on this series, and on this channel, I should say, you'll know that I don't really like to give players contract extensions when they've still got time left on it. I like to run it down, as thin as possible before giving them a new contract. But we offered new deals to Liam Feeney, Shane Lowry, and Alan Dunn. They have their contracts expiring in a few months. We offered them contracts, but I didn't really look at this the first time. But I didn't realise I actually didn't give them more money like I thought I was doing. I went to give Alan Dunn a grand more on his contract, and when I pressed triangle to confirm it reset to $3,000. Like I additionally put $1,000 more on, so I went for $4,000, and it just reset to $3,000. I think the reason is because I haven't adjusted the budgets back, so I've got enough money to pay for the salaries. But yeah, there you go. That's why it happened. So I'll tell you right now, they all reject those contracts. But yeah, it's my fault for not paying enough attention, and we'll have to rectify that, because I'd like to keep all three of those players. Obviously, Feeney's a great winger, but we already know Feeney is most likely going to leave the club because he's declined like 17 contracts already. And obviously, Alan Dunn's been at the club all his life, so I'd like to keep him, even if he's not that great of a right back. And Shane Lowry's 69 rated, so he's not bad. So we'll offer those contracts again, and hopefully we'll be able to keep them. But it looks as though no matter what happens, Liam Feeney's going to be leaving the club at least. But anyway, we took on Doncaster for the first game of the episode here, and looking to get back on the winning wagon after 2 defeats in a row in the last episode. And we had the first chance of the game here. The shot was well saved, and then Morrison's shot went wide of the post. In the 10th minute though, Scott Malone picks up the ball down the left hand side, gives it to Ryan Gould, our playmaker. Gould is on the ball once again, keeps on going. You see Morrison's got his hand up there and saying, give me the ball, give me the ball. So Gould does give him the ball, and it's a good thing he did, because Morrison smashes the ball past Ross Turnbull. So our top scorer gets another goal to his collection. It was a lovely ball by Ryan Gould as well. As I said in the last episode, he's starting to come into his own at the moment, starting to play really, really well. He had a good start to the season, then he sort of tailed off a little bit during mid-season, but now he's starting to play really well. So good assist there for Ryan Gould, and a good finish by Morrison. So 1-0 to us, and on the stroke of half-time we get the ball with Carrasco. Carrasco finds Gould, lovely little back heel by Carrasco there, and Gould is away down the left-hand side. He's got a lot of pace, Ryan Gould. Didn't really have many options though, so I tried to catch Ross Turnbull out, but sadly the shot wasn't that great, and the former Chelsea keeper had a simple save. So Doncaster 0, Millwall 1, but in the 47th minute James Henry's on the ball, chips it over the top, Carrasco's there, tries to chip Ross Turnbull, but I got it all wrong, and it goes way over the bar. So still Doncaster 0, Millwall 1, but we're playing really well in this game. And in the 83rd minute, another great chance for us to extend the lead here. Carrasco gives it to Liam Trotter, first time ball over the top towards James Henry. Henry runs onto it, he's got enough time, he sets himself, but sadly he takes it a bit too far wide, and Turnbull makes the save, and the ball goes out for a corner. But there was still a chance to extend the lead. Doncaster didn't play very well in this game, still a chance to extend the lead and make it 2-0. Henry's crossing was met by the head of Mark Beavers, but sadly it was headed off the line, and the follow-up shot went wide of the post, but it did indeed finish Doncaster 0, Millwall 1. So back to winning ways. That's fantastic. I mean, as I've said before, bad form can really sort of spiral really quickly, and you can go from losing a couple of games in a row to many games in a row and failing to win in several games. But I was really pleased to get back to winning ways there. A very convincing win as well. Although it was only one goal, we played really, really well, and we deserved to get the 3 points there. So I was very happy with that. Would have liked another couple of goals, but we'll take the 3 points. That's the most important thing. But of course, Nicky Bailey missed that game through suspension, but he's coming back, which is great. And Andy Keogh then says, thanks for listening and giving me an extended run in the team. I'm much happier now. And I was like, you've barely been playing, mate. So Keogh is another one of those players as his contracts expiring. As you see, Dunn and Lowry both declined these contracts here. Keogh's another one that has his contract up at the end of the season, and I'm still not sure whether to offer him one or not, because he doesn't get that many goals, and he's a decent striker. He's 68 or 69 rated, so he's not that bad. He's not old either. He's in his mid to late 20s, but I just sit there and I think, really, is this the type of striker I want to keep at the club? I really sort of want to improve and make sure that all my strikers are in the 70s for next season. But I don't know, as a backup striker he'll do okay, but of course you've seen he's been complaining that he's not been getting the team enough. So do I really want a player in my side that's going to complain about not getting games when I'm originally only going to be using him as a backup player? I don't really know. So anyway, we take on Nottingham Forest here at the Den, and of course the last game we played at the Den we lost to Watford. That was the first defeat at the Den in the league this season. So taking on Forest, I was actually a little bit pessimistic here. The first chance did come to us in the 3rd minute. Nicky Bailey back from his suspension finds Steve Morrison. Morrison rolls out wide by to Troller. First time ball in. Carrasco's at the far post, but what a great save by De Vries to keep the score at 0-0 here. And we had a free kick in the 41st minute. James Henry standing over it. It's a tight angle, so I thought what I'll do is I'll drill the ball into the 6-yard box and try and catch the defender and goalkeepers out here. Try and cause a bit of a panic in the middle of the box there. And it goes in, and sadly De Vries makes another great save, and then somehow Mark Beevers hits the post from an open goal. So he wanted a new contract. I'm not going to give him one for that. That's poor from Mark Beevers, but still 0-0. But in the 45th minute, Nicky Bailey intercepts his man. Ball roll, reverse step over, back heel to Morrison. What a save by De Vries. The reason I didn't take a shot with Nicky Bailey is because he is our holding midfielder. I didn't feel very confident. I thought it would be better to lay it off to our top scorer, but sadly Morrison's shot was well saved. But he see Nyland make a good save, so it wasn't all about De Vries in this game. Nyland made a very good save there, but in the 58th minute the ball gets up in the air. It's cleared away by us. The ball comes to Steve Morrison as we go on a break here. Morrison gives it to Carrasco. He roulettes past Eric Lehigh. He's down the left-hand side here. Look at the first touch by Carrasco. It's really heavy, but he gets past his man, goes into the centre, takes aim. Good save by the goalkeeper. Then Gould shoots, and again, De Vries makes a really good save. So it's still 0-0. With an hour played on the clock, I was thinking, my word, how am I going to beat this goalkeeper? He's on fire. But in the 63rd minute, Carrasco's onto the ball once again. First time ball to James Henry. Again, De Vries makes the save. It breaks to Morrison, though, and it's a really composed finish by Steve Morrison. Fantastic strike into the back of the net. That was actually a lot more difficult than it seemed, because even though, the goalkeeper was well out of his goal, and even though it was a free shot for Morrison, at the end of the day, there was several players in front of him in, not much space in front of him either between him and the players in the box, and he had to sort of get the angle right, and he had to get the trajectory right, and he did both there. Found the bottom corner, so that was a great goal by Morrison, and a really good finish by Morrison, who I'm still not sure if I'm going to look to sign him on a permanent deal next year, but he's got 16 goals in the Championship, so maybe that answers my question for me. But anyway, in the 75th minute here, Forrester onto the ball. Jamie Mackie gets onto it, gets past Mark Beevers here, rolls it through. Really good chance for Forrest to get themselves back on level terms, and sadly Paul Robinson lunged in there and the referee gave a penalty, and it was a really debatable penalty as well, because I didn't think there was any contact the first time I saw it, and as you'll see on the replay as well, Robinson lunges in here, and I think there's a little bit of contact. It's still slight contact, there's not that much, but there's enough to bring him down, I think you'd have to say, and that's why Forest were awarded a penalty, and Nyland has faced one and saved one, so I was looking to maintain that perfect record for saving penalties for Nyland. But eventually the man steps up, and sadly Nyland stays down the middle and he puts it to his left hand side. So sadly Forest will equalise with 15 minutes to go, and it was a bit of a shame because we were playing really well in this game. De Vries was making so many good saves and we just couldn't put the ball past him more than once. But Forest equalised, but there was still 14 minutes on the clock, so still time for either side to get a goal back and win it. But in the 86th minute it was Forest that came through down the left hand side here, failed to prevent this cross from being put into the box, and sadly the header was well saved, but the follow-up shot went past Nyland, and with 4 minutes to go, Forest scored what could be the winner. Millwall 1, Nottingham Forest 2. It was a late goal. Nyland did really well to make the save, but he couldn't keep the rebound out, and it's Millwall 1, Forest 2. Looking like back-to-back defeats here at the Den for the first time ever. But he see the cross come in, and Liam Trotter gets his head to the ball and puts it into the back of the net. In the game, I should say, back-to-back defeats. But Trotter puts the header in there, and it's Millwall 2, Forest 2. So we're back on level terms, and thankfully it looks as though we weren't going to have 2 defeats in a row here at the Den. That would be very embarrassing. But in injury time here, the ball comes to, I'm not sure who it was, but he crosses the ball in towards Darius Henderson, former Millwall player. He crosses the ball across the face of goal. It comes to Nathaniel Chaloba, and in stoppage time, Nathaniel Chaloba, one of the players we used to have in our Norwich career mode, scores the goal. And if he thinks I'm re-signing him in this series, he is completely wrong. And Nathaniel Chaloba makes it 3-2 in injury time. And straight from kickoff, we roulette past the defender. And the referee blows for full time. So it finishes Millwall 2, Nottingham Forest 3. An unbelievable finish in this game. And what a huge shame as well. Because, it was 1-0 with 15 minutes to go. And it ends 3-2 to Forest. That is such a shame. And Nathaniel Chaloba's injury time winner means that Forest do collect all 3 points. And again, we lose at home, and that's a real shame because the Den has been a fortress all through this season, and now, we've lost 2 games here in the league in a row. That's just embarrassing, man. And as you'll see, we dominated in terms of shots, but sadly De Vries just played so amazingly well, and we got 0 points. And as you can see, the board came to us and sent us an email straight after that game and said, after the disappointing result, the board feels it's important to encourage you to experiment with the team dynamics. And I was like, I hear you, man. Seriously, this is bad news for us at the moment. And the board also tell us that Feeney isn't going to sign a contract, and it's really bad news for us because we now have been knocked out out of the automatic promotion places. We're down to 3rd and we're starting to slip up, which is not good news for us. But as always, guys, big thank you for watching today's video. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a like, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.